A couple of things that I believe is quite important with the use of simulations, the fact my teaching philosophy incorporates the notion that students should take ownership of their learning experience, particularly at the master's level. The second aspect is to give students a chance to have a variety of courses. We have a number of courses that are the traditional lecture, written assessment items, and I just want to have something that will be completely different. The way I have structured this course and the challenges that we have is the fact that we have both online and on-campus students. So in that environment, I need a tool that will allow me to engage both on-campus and off-campus students. The simulation provides that ability because it's a web-based simulation. And with that simulation, I have then developed a number of assessment items that will gravitate in regards to the experience that they have with the simulation. Because the simulation is so engaging with students, I've noticed that both the delivery of the content as well as the assessment items start to be more and more relevant and focusing towards the simulation, up to a point now that pretty much the simulation takes 70% of the assessment items or the weighting of the assessment items in my course. I have developed a strategy where I teach for 7 weeks, I deliver content for 7 weeks, and at the same time I prepare students to know how to engage with the simulation. The rest of the course, I stopped delivering face-to-face classes because my understanding was that it's a lot more important to engage both my cohorts of students, both online and face-to-face, into a Blackboard Collaborate virtual environment. And I can bring them together to discuss the outcomes and the results and their experience through the use of the simulation. Obviously, the main advantage of using a web version simulation is the fact that I can have a tool where I can engage in a blended environment both on campus and off campus students. The issue is that a lot of the times the face-to-face students will come to me and say that they are doing a good chunk of the workload required to run the simulation. My response to that is the fact that as future professionals, they will have to have an understanding of what is to work in the real world environment. What you might do work with people that are next to your desk, but also you do engage with people in your organization that you don't have physical access to, and you still have to manage and learn how to collaborate in that environment. An interesting aspect of that, on the online offline, is the ability to make them work in groups, and especially the use of communication. It's very clear to me that good groups function better when they communicate well among themselves, and the simulation provides that both face-to-face but also distant communication between them. So I see a lot of benefits in regards to having the offline students combined with the online, although there is also some challenges that needs to be addressed. In the early stage of the course, we start with a business plan where they decide what type of airline they're going to work at, either a low-cost carrier or a full-service network provider. And they have to, in their exercise of using strategic planning, they have to make sure they are consistent with what they decide in the initial stages of the project. As they go through the different batches that we have weekly batches. Every batch is a financial equivalent of a quarter of a financial year. So throughout the course, we go through 6 weeks, which is equivalent a year and a half. And they have to be faithful to the original plan that they start with the company. So that gives them a really understanding of whatever your decision in terms of what is the vision for your company. You have to stick with it as the time passes by. And if you're not able to do that, what is the learning process that you were able to get out of that decision that you made? My experience has been a fantastic one because the simulation really gives me an opportunity to have an experiential learning chance with my students. It's things that they tell me that they would never be able to learn from the textbook. And I feel that the level of engagement with students with the course is a lot higher than the traditional lecture written assessment items that most of my colleagues would offer.